If you take the chemistry portion in the class 10th, first chapter is the chemical reaction and the equation. Chemical reaction
And the equations.
and equations.
Second is acid, bases, and stuff.
So already few students are already covered in the lower grades in the 9th
Yeah,
standard.
sir, at 8th standard, sir. 9th it is not.
Or in the 8th standard.
Sorry, not 8th, also 7th.
Okay, good. 7th. So in lower grades already some students have covered, some has not covered. So don't worry at all. I'll teach you from the starting on. From the basics we'll start again.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Acids, bases, and salt. This is the next step. Okay, acid, bases, and the salt. And you already studied in the class 7th itself, NCERT textbook itself. What is the meaning of acid? What is the meaning of base? Right? You already have a good knowledge about this chapter. So again, there is no issue at all in the chemistry for this chapter. Is it audible to you properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the third one is the metals and non-metals.
Metals and non-metals. Periodic table. That's true.
Metals and non-metals. So this also you're very well known about this topic.
Is there in 8th standard, sir?
It is there in the 6th standard. Again,
Only basics.
other coachings and all about the separately about the reactivity series and all. Right?
Yes.
What are the chemical
Yeah.
properties of the metals and the non-metals? What are the physical properties, ductility, malleability, right? And what is the reactivity series? Again, it will come in this. But in the last one portion will be there, that is the metallurgy. Okay, only few people have maybe studied this topic, metallurgy topic, how we are extracting the metals from the earth crust and how we are doing the refining process. Okay, this and all you study in this chapter, metals and the non-metals. The next one is the carbon and its compound.
Carbon and compounds.
It is the important topic in the 10th.
Why, sir? That much important.
Because up to 10th standard, you will study chemistry as only the single thing. But when you go for the higher standard, like class 11 onwards, you have the chemistry in 3 parts. One is the inorganic chemistry,
Organic chemistry.
organic, and the third one is the physical chemistry. Okay. So when you take the organic part, it completely depends only about the carbon and its compound. Okay. So whatever the chemistry will study after the 10th standard, it will divide into 3 parts and all will have the equal weightage. If you take JEE or if you take the NEET, all these 3 will have equal weightage. Okay, total 3 parts, right? So this will get the 1/3 part, this will have the 1/3, and this will also will have the 1/3 in any competitive exam or any board exam in the class 7th and 12th. So for the basic of this organic chemistry, you'll study the carbon compound as a basic part. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So it is a basic thing and it's a very, very important topic in the class 10th. And the last one is the periodic table. All you know this topic also. Okay. But again, this is the completely basic for the inorganic topic. So inorganic chemistry completely deals about the periodic table only. So what is separate S block elements? What is separately P block elements? What is the D block elements? Each and every group wise we'll study in the periodic table in the class 11th. But in the class 10th, we'll study the completely table as a whole basic. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you see these topics, it will be easy only for you. Don't worry. So again, you have it is the easiest thing to get the score in the class 10th. And if you take any Olympiad exams or any competitive exams after the class 10th also, all these chapters will contain the equal weightage. Like if you take the first chapter, what is the most probable questions? They'll ask you to the balancing equation. Okay, they'll give some random chemical equation, or they will give you the word equation. They'll ask you to write the symbolic equation and they'll ask you to balance that one. That is the most common Olympiad or any competitive exam questions. When you come to the acid, base, and salt, which is very, very important in our daily life, right? Whatever
Yes,
is,
salt is very important, sir, than acid and base.
yeah, when you're mixing the acid and base only, we get the salt.
Yes,
But
that's also.
without the acids and base, how you're getting the salt,
Yes, means-
right? No issue.
yes, yes.
Okay. So it's very, very important topic in our surroundings and in everyday chemistry life, the acid, base, and salt. So we'll get some tricky questions on this topic, especially the acid, base, and salt. The next one is the metals and non-metals. So entire world is running based upon these two only. Metals na iron, gold, silver, platinum. So almost we have total 118 elements are there in the periodic table, and out of that 70% is only metals, right?
Yes, sir.
And remaining all of the non.
Yes, sir.
And carbon and its compound, it is important for the chemistry if you're going for the highest standard. And if you take in all the living organisms, at least one carbon compound will be there. Okay, like if you take the DNA, RNA, anything, glucose, carbohydrates, proteins, whatever the compound is there in the living organisms, it will contain some, at least one carbon atom. It is very, very important. Again, the periodic table. So how the mathematical tables or multiplication tables important in the maths, the same way periodic table is very useful in the chemistry. When you go for the class level, again you study individually, the separate first group, second group, 13, 14, 15, 16 and all. Now you got the clear idea about the chemistry in the class 10, or anybody has any doubts?
Sir, if you don't mind, I'm asking, sir. In this 10th board, which topic is more important? Means which topic they will ask more questions?
Okay, right now 10th board is connecting in two terms, right? Term 1 and term
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right now, best, but future they can change it. I believe.
Suppose if you take the acid, base, and salt. No, I'll tell you that only. If you take the chemical reaction equation, you'll get the questions on the balancing concepts, especially balancing concepts. Compulsory.
Means compulsory they will ask 5 marks or
It can be
2
1
marks.
mark or it can be 2 marks, it can be 3 marks. If it's 3 marks, not 3 balancing equations will come.
Okay, okay.
2 marks,
Means
two
one question.
balancing equations. That means each one will carry 1 mark, like that.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Understand? Next, acid, base,
Yes.
and salt. We have the different types of salts like baking soda, washing soda, gypsum, Epsom,
Yes, sir.
water of
They're really tough to remember, sir. The second chapter has completed today in our school. Really tough to remember.
But after our class in my, when I teach you this topic, you'll tell me after this one.
Okay, sir.
After completion of this topic, I'll teach you. Don't worry. You tell me
Yes.
number and all.
Yes.
Okay, next one is the metals and non-metals. You know they put the ionic bond, covalent bonds, right?
Yes, sir. Ionic that
I have taught you already in the class 9.
Yes, sir. In 9th you start attention one.
So same thing, covalent bonding, ionic bonding will come here, and electronic configuration will come here. The basics of electronic configuration will come here in this chapter.
Okay.
But carbonate compound is very, very basic for the class 10. It is a starting chapter in the class 10. Before and all, you didn't study at all carbonate compound, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. This is first step.
This is the first
Remaining all we touched it. Means we know the basics of that. Remaining all 4 chapters. But carbon and compound really first step.
That's what. So it is a very, very important topic for you. According to me, the carbonate compound topic is very important out of these things. Periodic table, you know already about the periodic table.
Yes. Inside.
Each and every topic I will teach you clearly. If you have any doubts, you can ask me immediately. No issue at all. Already have an interaction, right? So no issue at all.
Yes.
So feel free to ask any doubts in between. Don't
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So shall we start the topic with the first? And I said term 1 and term 2, right? Actually, if you take this year, the term 1 portion is the first, second, and third chapter. The chemical reaction and equation, acid, base, and salt, metals and non-metals are the term 1 portion this year. And the term 2 topics are the carbonates compound, periodic table.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So this is a complete portion about the class 10. So you don't worry about anything, whether it is an MCQ paper or the descriptive paper and all. This time, if you take the first 3 patterns are completely MCQ paper, multiple choice questions. And the third 2 portion is a descriptive paper. But we don't know the pattern, it will change in the next year or not. So I'll teach you according to both descriptive as well as for the MCQ. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
So if you are going with the both now, you can have the good knowledge in the Olympiads also, right? You are not only writing the board exam, you are preparing for the Olympiads or something else also, the competitive sides. So I'll help you out in that also. So apart from the NCERT also, I'll teach you more things. Okay, any doubts?
No, no.
No doubt, sir.
Then shall we start with the first topic?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So first topic is what? Chemical reaction and the equation. First, side headings I will write. What are the subtopics are there in this chapter? First one, it gives discuss about the physical change and chemical change. Are you studying from the class 6, right? What is the physical change? What is the chemical change?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The next one is all about the chemical reactions and equation. Okay, so in this we will write in the either word format or in the symbol format. The third one is the balancing the chemical equation. Okay, I'll teach you 3 different methods. One is the, according to the textbook, we have the hit and trial method.
Hit and trial method and short method.
Hit and trial method. But if you got for the 1 mark now, we don't use the hit and trial method. We use the direct method only. So without using any numericals and all, we'll solve directly by looking at the question itself. So it's the direct method. And the last one is the algebraic method. So these 3 methods I will teach you how to balance the given chemical equation. Okay, these according to the NCERT. These 2 are the for the competitive sides.
Method is
Okay, yeah.
algebraic method is not the right to do that. Hit and trial and direct is there.
If you have the good knowledge, you can direct method itself. You don't go for the algebraic or you don't go for the hit and trial. That is the best.
Okay.
Within seconds, you can solve the problem if you go for the direct method. But
Okay,
only thing is practicing.
Yes,
You have to practice a lot of questions on this.
yes, that is
How
major.
many worksheets for you for that? You don't worry about that.
Okay.
The next one is the after balancing concept. Sorry, I didn't forgot to say one more here. Physical change and chemical change. Then we'll start the chemical reaction and equation. Third one is the characteristics of chemical reaction. Characteristics of chemical reaction. Then fourth one is the balancing. Okay. And the fifth one is the types of chemical reaction. Now you have to tell me what are the different types of chemical reaction. Types of chemical reaction. What are the different types? Combination reaction you have studied.
So neutralization reaction.
Okay, that I will teach you what is the neutralization reaction, but that is not that thing. That's the main classification.
Combination
Okay,
reaction.
displacement reaction.
Sorry, decomposition reaction. Third
Decomposition.
one is this. Third
Sir,
one is
oxidation.
that is
Again,
last.
the decomposition are 3 types.
Yes, sir. The thermal, electrolysis, and the
Thermal
photo
decomposition,
Photochemical.
electricity,
electricity,
and photo decomposition.
photolytic or photo decomposition. Third one,
The displacement.
So chemical displacement.
chemical displacement, good. Displacement reaction, which is very, very important for the third chapter also. Again, you study there.
Yes. Sir, in second chapter also. Sir.
Second chapter also, because the more reactive metal will displace the hydrogen from the acids, right?
Yes.
That is also important. Fourth one is the double displacement reaction.
Double displacement. This is also
Double displacement reaction.
reaction.
Again, it is the two types. One is the acid-base reaction.
Yeah. And one more is also.
The other one is the precipitate reaction.
Yes. Yes. PPT.
So whatever you are saying, the neutralization reaction, right? That is comes under the acid-base reaction.
Acid-base reaction.
Okay.
Yes.
So next one is the precipitate reaction. So these are the two different types under the double displacement. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The next one. After the types of chemical reaction, we will study about the oxidation and reduction.
Yes. So that also will come. Okay. No.
Oxidation and the reduction. Again,
Yes.
subdivision is oxidizing agent, reducing agent.
Reducing it.
And the last topic is the corrosion and the rancidity. It is a complete plan for the first chapter. Okay.
So what is the last one?
Corrosion and the rancidity. Now can you see the complete list?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
So
So what is like in the double displacement reaction, what is PPT reaction? So like can you
precipitate reaction. Can I write fully?
yes. Yes. Sir.
I'll write fully. Wait 1 minute. Okay. See, maybe sometimes I use some shortcuts to write the reactions. RX means reaction. Now itself I'm telling. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Sir.
Maybe in between the classes I will write like this, some shortcut words and all. So if
Okay,
I see here NC like this, now concentration. Okay. These are not the topic. And S4L and my solution. Or B by W now between I will write. So maybe some words I'll use randomly. If you are not understanding anything like this now, you ask me immediately, okay? Fine.
Yes. Yes. Sir.
Harini, you are there in the class 9th, right? When I'm teaching?
Yes. Sir. Actually, sir activated my account.
Okay, okay. So these are the main things. Why I am giving this one, right? Whenever you are seeing the first chapter during the revision time, when you open the first page itself, you should have the idea what are the subtopics are there, whether you covered the topic or not. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
It's like a small mind map. Okay, what are the different topics are there in that? Whether you have covered all the topics or not. We have a checklist. Like checklist, you have to do each and every time when you are doing the first chapter revision. Either you have to go in for the NCRT or you are doing for any other subject. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So we'll start with the first one. What is the first one? What is the first one?
Physical and chemical change.
Now we have to tell the answer. What is the meaning of physical change? What is the meaning of chemical change? Anyone?
So physical change means there's a change in the outer appearance of it, and chemical change is when it's inner things that make up the element or the
So can
substance
we-
is changed.
Sir, can I tell?
So can I say?
Open, but only one by one. One at a time. That's all the difference.
Okay.
Just raise your hands. I'll call you. Okay. Mohit.
So the external change or change of the physical appearance of a body is a physical change, and chemical change is the change in chemical composition of a body or an object.
Very good. Next.
So can I?
Vivek. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So physical changes are the changes where no new substances are formed, whereas in chemical changes, new substances are formed, sir.
Very good. The second important point. Physical change means it will not form any new substance, but chemical change means it will form the new substances. Next.
Sir, can I say another point?
You can tell how many points you want.
Sir, physical changes can be reversible, but chemical changes cannot be.
Physical change can be reversible, but chemical change cannot be. But I have one small doubt here. Physical change also can be irreversible, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, but in like very
Yes, sir.
rare cases.
Yeah, correct. Whatever you said is correct. That we'll study in the lower classes, like physical change is a reversible process. Sorry, reversible process. But it is not correct exactly in all the situations. It is good. You said the point. Physical change can be reversible in most of the cases, but in very less cases, it is a irreversible change also, like breaking of the glass or the cutting of the paper. Because once you break the glass, now we cannot stick it again properly in the original shape. Or when you cut the paper now, again we cannot make it the complete same paper as the same original shape. But folding of the paper is a physical change. That is a reversible. But cutting of the paper is not the reversible, right? Even though it's a physical change, it is a irreversible one. Understanding?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good, Vivek. So you said the points, whether I have done with explanation. Good. Next. Next, anyone? That's all.
So can I give a point?
Yeah, Mohit. You're always.
So sir, in physical change, the chemical properties of a substance is not changed.
Can you repeat again?
In a physical change, the chemical properties or chemical compositions of a substance is not changed.
Good. So whatever the composition is there initially, it will be remain same after the change also. That is the physical change. The composition or the chemical nature or the anything, the physical properties will not change at all. That is the physical change. Good. Chemical change.
The chemical composition of the objects changes.
The chemical composition of the object will change.
Change.
Next, any other points? Anyone remaining? So totally 13 students has joined, apart from the 12 students, right?
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat?
So overall 12 students has joined.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you want to give any more points, you can give. Then I'll start the topic. Physical change means simple change in the physical properties, such as change in the shape, size, color, change in the state, So whatever the things you can sense with the help of the five senses, that is a physical change. Clear? Change in physical properties such as change in color, state, size, shape. Okay, like simple five sense organs. Whatever you can see with the help of our five sense organs, that is a physical change. Just wait a minute, please.
Yes, sir.
Just wait.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So physical change means what? Change in the physical properties, such as change in the color, state, size, and the shape, etc. Or you can, whichever you can sense with the five sense organs, that is a physical change. Chemical change means what? Change in chemical properties of the substance. Chemical properties of substance.
Properties. Yes, sir.
What is the chemical properties? Like flammability, reactivity. These are the chemical properties. Okay. How much this chemical substance will react or not? That is the chemical properties. Like flammable or the inflammable. Those are the chemical properties. So change in the chemical properties of the substance, that is a chemical change. Change in physical properties like color, state, size, shape, or whichever you can judge with the help of five sense organs, that is a physical change. What is the meaning of state?
Sir, it's like solid, liquid, or gas.
Very good. Solid to liquid, or the liquid to gas, or the gases to some other form. That is a change in the state.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next important point is what? No new substances are formed, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Second point is what? No
No new substances are formed.
new substances are formed. Here always forms new substances. Fine.
Yes, sir.
It can be reversible,
Or irreversible.
or you can say mostly, or irreversible. Can you understand my handwriting?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I like write neatly, okay? But what about the chemical change? It is always
Sir, always
Irreversible.
irreversible in nature. It's always irreversible in nature. That is a chemical change.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, sir. Actually, can you define irreversible and reversible, sir?
Okay. Suppose reversible means what? If you apply some force now, it will change its shape or the size or something. But again, if you release that force or if you remove that factor now, it will come back to original shape.
Yes.
Suppose you have taken one A4 sheet. Now what we are doing, just we are folding the A4 sheet into the different folds.
Yes.
Now size is changed, right? From A4 size to we have making the small piece.
Yes,
Just by
sir.
folding. But if you remove that folding factor now, and if you open it completely, again the A4 sheet will be formed or not?
Yes, sir.
That is a reversible. Or if you take water to the ice, if you want to convert from the liquid water into the ice format, what you will do?
Sir, liquid to ice, sir.
Ice
Yes, sir. Will freeze it, sir.
will freeze it, but Again, if you keep that ice in the outside atmosphere, now we will get the same amount of water, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it reversible or not? Converting from solid to liquid or liquid to a solid again?
Yes, sir. Reversible.
Anything is changing in that? The composition is changing? Nothing is changing, right?
No, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir. No,
That
it's
is a
not changing.
reversible process.
Yes.
Okay, now you have taken the same piece of paper and just burn it. What you will get?
We'll be getting ash.
Ash you will get.
Something.
But with the help of the ash, can you make again the paper?
No, sir.
No, right?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
So what is this change?
Irreversible, sir. Which
Irreversible.
cannot be again like formed or cannot be used again. We'll call it irreversible.
Okay, now clear what is a irreversible and what is a reversible.
Yes, sir.
Next, remaining people.
Yes, sir.
Okay, boiling of the water. Is it a reversible or irreversible?
Reversible.
Reversible, sir. Physical change is reversible.
Reversible, sir.
Physical change only, right? Because
Yes, sir.
start boiling process now, the water will move from liquid state to the gaseous state. Again, if you do the condensation now, it will come back from gaseous to the liquid. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, like a cooking of the food.
It's irreversible.
It is irreversible, right? Because once we cook the food now, it will change completely, right? Again, we cannot bring the raw vegetables back. So it is an irreversible change. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And one more important point is what? Fourth point. Composition does not change at all. Right?
Yes, sir.
Before the change and after the change, the substance will have the same composition. Composition does not change. What about the chemical change?
So the chemical composition of a substance changes.
So you can write it as reactants and products will have the different composition.
Yes, sir.
I hope everyone knows what is the reactants and what is the products.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Different compositions. Okay. So these are the four important points. Apart from this, anything is there in the physical change and chemical change?
The properties varies.
Okay, good. That point also you can mention. Here the properties will be same. I want to mention that in the same composition only. Okay. So the properties will be same here, but here properties will be
Different from the constituent.
properties will be different from constant, or you can say properties of products will be different from the reactants. Properties of products will be different from reactants. Okay, now examples. What are the examples you can give here?
Tearing in the paper.
Hmm?
Tearing the paper.
Tearing the paper. Sorry, tearing the paper or cutting of paper. Next,
So melting ice cubes.
melting ice cubes. Are you thinking Sar is teaching only the same topic again and again?
Sir, respiration.
Respiration will not come under the physical.
No, sorry, digestion.
Okay, digestion also will not come under the physical change.
Sorry. Okay, sorry, it is chemical change.
Can I explain or yeah, clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Respiration. Can anyone of you tell
Digestion.
me what is the equation for respiration?
It's like O2 plus O2 is equal to CO2 plus.
Hello, Kavya Singhal.
Hello, sir.
Join the late.
No, sir, actually I had a connectivity.
Okay. Yeah, what is the equation for respiration?
It's like O2 plus carbohydrates and all.
O2 plus carbohydrates and all is equal to the respiration process. Nice. I think some background noise is there from your side. So that you're unmuting.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. No issue at all. Apart from him, anybody wants to tell the equation for respiration? Guys,
Something O2 plus CO2, something it will be.
something will be there, sir. But exactly we don't know. Huh?
Yes, sir.
But can you raise your hands who knows the equation for photosynthesis? Who knows the equation for the photosynthesis? Good.
I know, sir.
So you know the equation for photosynthesis, right? It will be easy for you to remember the equation for respiration also.
So it's like it's just opposite of photosynthesis.
Very nice. Good.
So can we say glucose plus oxygen forms carbon dioxide, water, and ATP?
Yeah, that's all correct answer.
And sir, wait, I have the chemical formula for that also, like for photosynthesis.
Respiration, I think.
C6H12O6 plus 6O2 forms 6CO2 and 6H2O plus ATP. Yeah.
Good. That's what I asked you first, respiration. Then in the last, I'm asking you photosynthesis. Everybody is thorough with the photosynthesis equation, right?
Yes, sir.
So can I write it here itself? Photosynthesis, what is the equation part? 6CO2
Plus
plus
6H2O
H2O
Plus
will give rise to
plus
C6H12O6 plus 6O2.
Plus 6O2.
6O2.
6O2. But in the presence of
Heat.
sunlight and
Sunlight.
chlorophyll.
Sunlight and chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll.
So I hope you know everyone the meaning of endothermic and exothermic.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry.
Endo
Yes,
means
sir.
after in evolution of heat, and in this exo means evolution of gas.
Okay. So don't worry if you don't know this equation part and all. Sorry, if you don't know the term endothermic and exothermic, I will teach you. That is a coming topic. In the characteristics of chemical reaction, I will teach you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now respiration.
Yes, sir.
So respiration, right? Exactly opposite. First, before that, tell me what is the reactant side and what is the product side?
Sir, LHS is the reactants and RHS is the products.
These are the reactants. These are the products. Respiration is exactly opposite. That's all the difference. We'll write the products in the starting. What is the products? C6, H12O6 plus.
6 plus six CO2, sir.
Okay.
6O2.
Now what is happening? 6CO2 plus.
6H2O.
6H.
Now, if you take the photosynthesis process, it is absorbing the energy from the sunlight, right, to occur the chemical reaction.
Yes, sir.
Now, what will happen here?
Sir, ATP is already formed, like because of sunlight and chlorophyll.
Okay, if it is absorbing in the photosynthesis process, means it has to release here, right?
Yes, sir. Energy is released.
Energy is releasing. Releasing means it is an exothermic.
Exothermic. Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, will you remember for a long time? What is the equation
Yes,
for
sir.
respiration?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain exothermic and endothermic?
Definitely. But we'll start the reaction right here. I mean, the characteristics I tell you, right? After the definition for the chemical reaction and the equation part, this characteristics of chemical reaction is there, right? In that I will explain clearly what is exothermic and what is endothermic. Okay, but now I will give you a simple definition for endothermic. Endothermic means during the chemical reaction, if heat is absorbing, that is an endothermic. What is endothermic?
If heat is absorbed during chemical
Heat absorbed during chemical reaction. Suppose you want to break the one chemical compound like CaO. Okay, CaCO3 you want to break. That means you have to give some heat energy, right?
Yes, sir.
Then only it
Yes,
is
sir.
CaO plus CO2. That means we are giving the heat energy to occur the chemical reaction. So heat is absorbing, right, during the chemical reaction.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear, the example?
Yes, sir.
Now, can you tell me the same photosynthesis process? Will it happen in the absence of sunlight?
No, sir.
No, right? Because there is no heat energy. So it will not happen the chemical reaction. If you are supplying the heat energy only, it is happening. That means supplying of the heat energy only endothermic process or endothermic reaction. Clear?
So can you repeat supplying?
Heat is absorbing during the chemical reaction, that is the endothermic.
Yes, sir.
Heat absorbed during the chemical reaction, it's the endothermic. Heat release, exothermic. Or we'll take one more example like this. Exothermic means what? Heat released
Is absorbed.
during chemical reaction. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In the case of respiration, we are getting the energy in the form of ATP. That means it is releasing the energy, right? Releasing of energy means, is it exo or the endo? Guys, can you hear me properly?
Yes, sir. It's exothermic.
Exothermic. Now, can you tell me one example for the exothermic apart from respiration?
Sir, whitewashing thing.
So sodium plus water heats released.
Very good. If you keep the sodium in the water, it will undergo explosion process, right?
Yes, sir.
That is an exothermic. Now you can tell me the basic examples.
Lime water plus water.
Very nice. Dilution of an acid or the base is an exothermic process. That we'll study in the second chapter, but dilution of an acid is an acid at the base is an exothermic process. Or I want the basic examples, right? What will take the basic examples? Exothermic.
Sir, rusting of iron.
Okay, you'll take this example. Suppose you are burning the coal. What will happen? That is a combustion process, right? Burning of the coal or the burning of the fuel is a combustion or not?
Yes, sir.
So when you burn the coal, it will release a lot of heat energy, right?
Yes, sir.
Burning of the coal is nothing but whenever the coal reacts with the oxygen present in the air, it will reduce a lot of heat energy. There is an exothermic or endothermic?
So it's exothermic.
Exothermic. But you can ask me like, sir, initially we are giving some heat energy, right, to start the burning process. Yes or no? That is an
Yes, sir.
endothermic, but once you give the heat energy, it will start catching the fire automatically and more heat will release than it will take. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So overall the process is an exothermic. Overall it is releasing the heat energy. So it is an exothermic. Exothermic means heat will be released during the chemical reaction. Endothermic means heat will be absorbed during the chemical reaction.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, can you give a common example, like a daily life example for endothermic, sir?
Endothermic daily life example. Like photosynthesis you can take, or daily life example, what you can say?
Can I try to give an example?
Sorry? Yeah, you can give the example, no issues at all. I always accept the examples
Sir,
of
I'm
what
not
you are telling.
correct.
Sorry?
But when we use a cooler, the air from outside that is hot is taken, and the water is the water makes it cool and it's given out as cool air. Sir, I'm not so sure if it's correct.
Akshara, really, I didn't understand. Can you repeat again?
It's okay, sir.
Can you repeat again?
Sir, it's okay, sir.
No problem. Tell.
Sir, I think it's fine. Sir, like a cooler is
see.
there and the cooler has water in it. So like the air from outside is taken and the water makes the air cool and like the cool air is given out.
Very nice. Good example you have told. There's no doubt at all. Okay, one thing I'll tell you. Either you say the correct or the wrong. It doesn't matter at all. You unmute yourself, you tell me what are the points coming in your mind. That is only important for me.
So like
I'll not tell you is it right or wrong. I'll not scold you or anything. Don't feel hesitate or the shy to give the answers. I'm always open for the answers from your side.
water.
Sorry, Kavya.
Sir, I was saying electrolysis of water.
Okay, electrolysis of water. Good. So if you want to do electrolysis of water now, you have to give the electrical energy, right?
So like decomposition reaction are generally endothermic, right?
Yeah, generally all decomposition reactions are endothermic only, mostly. But mostly if you take the combination reactions, those are the exothermic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but daily life example, what actually I said is correct. Like I will change some little bit in that. Like suppose you want to convert from liquid to the solid. What you are doing? We are keeping in the
So we are
freezer.
freezing it.
Why we are keeping in the freezer? To decrease the temperature, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
To
Okay, inside the freezer the temperature is low, but outside,
It's more than inside the freezer.
right? Is it exothermic or endothermic? Heat is releasing or heat is absorbing for that? From liquid to
Sir,
solid.
it is releasing heat to turn into solid.
That means is it exothermic or endothermic?
Exothermic, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Okay. What about the endothermic? You're boiling the water. How the boiling of water will happen without giving the heat energy? It will happen?
No.
No, right? If you are giving the heat energy in the form of either LPG cylinder or the burning of the wood or burning of something, only we are giving the heat energy, right? Then only
Yes, sir.
the liquid is converting into the gaseous state. Now we are giving the heat energy, that is the endothermic.
So if we are providing heat energy, like commonly it is called endothermic, sir.
Endothermic. If
Yes,
it
sir.
is given by now, it is exothermic.
Oh, yes, sir.
Now clear for everyone?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll stop the topic here itself. If you have any doubts in today's class, you tell me.